Sharon, in your experience as a hiring manager and an entrepreneur, what do you see as some of the qualities that make a good employee good? In other words, someone who can do the job.
Well, Jen, I would say the most important part of doing the job is actually showing up. And there's an old saying that says 98% of success is showing up. And that's certainly true for employees. You want your employees to be at your workplace and to be there on time so that they can do the work. And I've had the experience of having employees who have not shown up. And one of the experiences I had was actually as a sales rep. I worked for a sales manager who actually hired somebody, went through the whole hiring and vetting process, all 3 of those interviews, rode with me on the road one day. And he got the job offer. We waited for him to arrive on Monday morning, and he did not show up. And he didn't call, didn't email, nothing. We never heard from this gentleman again. Obviously, that is not a great employee. So as I said, showing up is really very, very important. And part of that is reliability. That is the next quality I talk about. And reliability, again, you want somebody who's going to, number one, be there when they say they're going to be there and actually do the work that you're hiring them to do. That's extremely important. Would you agree, Jen?
Absolutely. For me personally, as you just alluded to, motivation is one of the key factors to a good employee. In my business, I've really thrived on working with student interns, and over the last 5 years or so, I've worked with close to a dozen student interns, and out of that dozen, I was only able to hire 2 of them within my company. And the commonality between the both of them is that they were super motivated. They were motivated to do the best job that they could for me, but they were also motivated to make a career for themselves. So ultimately, when you have somebody that's really motivated from both of those perspectives, your business is bound to be the one that reaps the benefit of that.
That is so very true. Motivation is a key. And you were talking about students and having interns. I happened to be working with a student. He was actually a business student from UConn, come to think of it. And we were working on a project together, and I was interrupted. I had to take a very important phone call. And I look over as I'm on the phone, and there he is. He had whipped out his smartphone, and he was playing a video game on his smartphone. Well, after I finished my phone call, I had to talk with him, and I said, listen, you are fortunate you're working for me, and this is a lesson to you. You cannot do that when you are on the job. When you're on the job, you need to be motivated and focused on your employer and what's important to them. So yes, motivation is so very important. Now, on page 6 of the toolkit, you're going to find a number of qualities of good employees. And these were qualities that we actually had talked to employers about in addition to our own experiences. We'd spoken to a number of employers about what they felt were important. Listed are such things as hardworking, as we also already said, motivated, ethical. That's very important. You want somebody who has a good conscience to be working for you. Being a team player. Most of us work together in teams, and responding well to instruction. And these are just a few of them.
Well, I hope by this point in time, those watching are thinking, well, where can I find a qualified individual with a disability as an employer?
I would recommend them to the workplace because that is a great place to start. However, you will find references to additional resources in the toolkit. And you as a small employer can find answers to the questions you have about hiring people with disabilities and diversifying your workforce, to include them and LGBT people with disabilities, and also provide you with the services that you need.
In our experience, I know for me personally as well as for you, we've found that it's no harder to hire someone with a disability, and as we've outlined today, the benefits are great in doing so, and it's not nearly as difficult as an employer may think. In fact, they may find their best employee yet.
I couldn't agree with you more, Jen. We hope that you found the information useful. To find out more, you can reference the toolkit, which is located on the workplace website, or you can contact the workplace. Thank you for your time.